Okay, we're going to go through lesson 2, average rate of change, in this video today. So the first thing I want you to do is just pause the video, read the do now. It's asking you to find the slope of the secant line. We just did this in homework 1 by going over it, right? You're finding the change in y over change in x over the given interval. And for this, they're giving you 2 points. So you don't even have to do anything to find the points. One point is x comma f of x. The other point is x plus h comma f of x plus h. So just to help, this could be like x1, y1, and this could be like my x2, y2. So if you think about change in y over change in x, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, take a moment to show what that would look like. Okay, so if you pause the video and you gave that a try, we should see something. Change in f of x over change in x would be f of x plus h minus f of x over x plus h minus x. And then what ends up happening in the denominator here is you have these two x's that are additive inverses. They cancel. So you get f of x plus h minus f of x over h. And this is what we find as our slope of the secant line for any given function f. So if we want to write it again, this would just be the formula we're going to use when we're asked to find an average rate of change over an interval on a particular function, if the interval is x to x plus h. So now we're going to try number 1 using this idea, slope of the secant line, average rate of change. We're given a quadratic. F of x is x squared minus 4x plus 1. And here's that interval that would allow us to use the secant line formula above. Okay, so if my goal here is to do f of x plus h minus f of x over h, usually the hardest thing to calculate, or the one that takes the most time, is the f of x plus h, depending on the original function. So that means I have to plug in an x plus h anywhere I see x in the original function. So let's just do that kind of off to the side here. F of x plus h would equal parenthesis x plus h squared minus 4 times x plus h plus 1. Take a moment to maybe simplify this. So x plus h here is being squared, so double distribute. I'll distribute this negative 4x minus 4h plus 1, x squared plus xh plus another xh plus h squared. You get a decent amount of terms here. I can combine these two, but that's about it. So I'm going to have f of x plus h is x squared plus 2xh plus h squared minus 4x minus 4h plus 1. Okay, so now I need to take that, and if I'm going to find the change in y over change in x, the slope of the secant line here, or the average rate of change, I'm going to take that, just because I'm going to have the ability to copy this. I'm going to copy this, put it over here. From that, we're subtracting f of x. So f of x is the whole quadratic, x squared minus 4x plus 1, all over h. So we get x squared plus 2xh plus h squared minus 4x. We're going to try to reduce this as much as we can. I'm going to distribute this minus sign into my f of x, so minus x squared plus 4x minus 1 all over h. And then I'm going to look to see what cancels. So I can see I have a positive x squared and a negative x squared, negative 4x and a positive 4x, and then a positive 1 and a negative 1. So I'm left with 2xh plus h squared minus 4h all over h, and I can see that I have a common, like a factor, GCF factor of h in the numerator, so 2x plus h minus 4 over h allows me to cancel that h and reduce my slope to just 2x plus h minus 4. Now, eventually this is going to lead us into talking about the definition of the derivative, but for now, we're just looking at this as very similar to lesson 1. We're finding the average rate of change, just the interval that we're finding it over happens to be x to x plus h, so it's not a numerical interval. There are several practice questions in the notes here with a variety of functions, some quadratic, some radical, some rational. The answer key is posted online for the notes, so I would like you to take some time and at least try 1 or 2 on your own, and then give homework 2 a try. If you already tried it, a few people submitted it, but I could tell, we hadn't reviewed it yet, so I might have commented to try to resubmit it after you gave it a try after lesson 2 was taught to you. So now that we've gone through this together, please take some time to resubmit homework 2 if I didn't mark it as complete, or if you haven't had a chance to do it yet. I will be back on Monday and we'll go over this together and we'll check homework 2. All right, have a great weekend, everybody.